People think this job is about the law, statutes, ordinances, ink on paper. But after decades on this bench, I've learned the law is only half the story. The other half is people. The law is black and white, life is gray. And if you sit here long enough, you learn to hear what people aren't saying. That lesson came back to me one rainy Thursday afternoon in Providence. The courtroom smelled like wet coats and impatience. I'd already handled a dozen routine cases, speeding tickets, noise complaints, expired plates. I was tired. My clerk was tired. We were ready to finish the day. Whew. Then I opened the last file, case number 404, the City of Providence versus Marcus Cole. The number hit me first, $5,250. Not bail, not restitution, traffic fines, speeding, red light violation, parking tickets, late fees stacked on late fees. On paper, it looked like reckless behavior, like someone who didn't care. Then Marcus Cole stepped forward, late 30s, faded blue mechanic's uniform, grease under his fingernails. But it was his eyes that stopped me, red, hollow, exhausted in a way sleep doesn't fix. This wasn't defiance. This was survival. The prosecutor went by the book, 12 violations in 6 months. Camera footage, pattern of disregard. The city wanted the full amount. I looked at Marcus. "Do you have a lawyer?" "No, Your Honor. I can barely afford the gas to get here." I asked him the question I always ask. "Are you trying to hurt someone out there?" He shook his head. "No, Judge, I'm just trying to make it to the next shift." That answer didn't match the file, so I slowed things down. "Next shift?" He took a breath. "I work 3 jobs. The room went quiet. Warehouse at 3:30 a.m., mechanic shop in the morning, food delivery at night. 1 hour of sleep on a good day. That's when the paperwork stopped lying. I started reading the timestamps, not the violations, the time of day. A red light at 3:15 a.m., speeding at 6:45 a.m., parking tickets at noon, always the same block. To the system it was chaos. To me it was a schedule. I asked him to explain. At 3 a.m. if he was late he lost an hour's pay, or the job. That red light? Empty street. Rain. He slowed, checked, took the risk. The speeding ticket? Racing from one job to the next, changing clothes in the car. And the parking tickets? He looked down. I wasn't eating lunch, Judge. He was using his break to stand by a school fence, watching his 3 kids at recess. Their mother left 2 years earlier. No childcare, no safety net. 10 minutes to see them. 10 minutes to make sure they were still okay. 4 tickets. $400 for 5 minutes of peace. I asked to see the footage. The red light video played, empty streets, rain, a beat-up car slowing to almost a stop. That wasn't recklessness, that was fear. Then the parking photos. And there he was, in the reflection of the car mirror, pressed against a chain-link fence, watching children play. He wasn't parking, he was parenting. I did the math out loud. To pay $5,250, he'd need to work an entire month, not for rent, not for food, just to pay the city for driving to work. I asked him one last question. If I uphold these fines, what happens? He didn't hesitate. I lose the car, then the job, then the apartment. It's a domino, Judge. I couldn't let that happen. I dismissed every parking ticket. Then I addressed the moving violations. Yes, he broke the law. But the law also recognizes necessity. I didn't see recklessness. I saw exhaustion. The city didn't object. All charges dismissed. Total owed, $0. Marcus didn't move, he just cried. But dismissing tickets doesn't fix a life, so I did something else. I ordered him to eat lunch, a real one. And I handed him money from the court's charity fund, not as charity, but as an investment. Then I told him something he didn't believe yet. You're not alone. The video went viral, not because it was loud, because it was quiet. People saw themselves in Marcus. Letters arrived, $5 bills, crayon drawings from kids. 10 days later we called him back. $18,450. Enough to breathe, enough to drop the 3rd job. But the biggest envelope wasn't money. It was an apprenticeship offer. Union job, $28 an hour, benefits, 1 job. 6 months later, Marcus came back again, this time with his kids. Clean clothes, bright eyes. He wasn't watching from a fence anymore. He was coaching their baseball team. One of the boys said it best. He's awake now. That's what justice should do. Not crush people, not process pain, but pause long enough to ask why. Because behind every ticket, every violation, every file, there's a human being hoping someone sees them. Case dismissed.